or whatever, CNBC, it's like, well, okay, that's over there, it's gone, it's off the radar, forget about it. But that's $16 billion a month.
Mm-hmm. Or talk about the $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities that we owe to the Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicaid system. You look at that $100 trillion, and you tell me how ever this country is going to pay back $100 trillion.
The people that are getting really screwed are the younger people. If you're 30 years old and you're really going to get it, but I don't see them. I'd be in the street. I tell Mike, take it to the street. It's just like, oh, well, whatever.
Well, my prediction is I think one of these tea parties one day is going to get ugly. And
you're probably right.
These tea parties are happening all over, and I think you're going to get somebody who just fell off that 99-week unemployment, and things are going to get ugly.
All right. On a lighter note, we're going to jump to a quick break, and when we get back, I want Lee to tackle what can we do locally here to make a difference, maybe turn the corner on some of the stuff that's going on here. This is the Recession Smackdown. We'll be right back.
Bringing you the advice you need to prevail in today's economy. This is the Recession Smackdown with Mike Turner on News Talk 670 KBOI.
Okay, we're back. This is the last segment. We're going to try to make it as information-packed as possible. I have my always entertaining and knowledgeable guest, Lee Eyerman, and we've been discussing a lot of stuff going on in the economy, a lot of the negative stuff, trying to point some of it out. And one thing I want to make sure we focus on before the end of the show is I want to talk local. I want to talk about what we can do, and we've pointed out that we need to get the living wage up, Lee. And let's talk about how that can happen. I mean, what can Idaho, this local area, do to maybe get the turn on some of this negative stuff going on out there?
Absolutely. Well, to get the living wage up, what we need to do is get the demands for employees up. You can't be getting all those resumes from college graduates. You should be getting resumes from a freshman in college, and that's who you should be hiring. So we're getting the stimulus money is flowing out there, and if you guys look around, you can see the highways being rebuilt and stuff like that. And a lot of that money is stimulus money, but those are temporary jobs. And what we need to do is we need real productive full-time jobs.
So don't force it up through legislation of minimum wage stuff.
Exactly. Force it up through the creation of new jobs.
Okay.
And that's what we need to do, is find real productive jobs that are going to have a lasting effect on the economy. And that's where we need to see the investment. And one way a lot of people don't realize this, but one way local businesses get investment are from local banks. And a lot of us have our accounts at these big 8 banks that have 70% of all the investments in the United States. But there's a lot of local banks, and these local banks are very, very good banks, and they're the ones who make the loans to the small businesses. And when the small business gets a loan, they're able to hire people. And one of my biggest things I try to suggest to people is move your money to a local regional bank. There's plenty of websites to find out if the bank is safe or not. You can look it up to make sure they're with the Better Business Bureau, make sure they're FDIC insured, and you never put more than $100,000 into an account. But that's a regional bank, and then that regional bank can take that money and loan it out to a business who can hopefully make a productive use of it and hopefully hire somebody. Some other areas that we need to do is look at the legislation that is being passed. Can we cut government spending in any areas? I definitely do not think we can cut education. We cannot cut the police and other essential government functions. But are there any areas that we can cut so that we can take that money and put it towards stimulus and investment? A couple of years ago, we've made a lot of big tax breaks to a lot of big companies in this area. And those similar types of tax breaks now have to flow to the small business. Mm-hmm. And, I make a very big point of trying to shop everywhere locally. There are tons of great shops around here locally that the customer service is fantastic at. And yes, it does take a little bit more effort. Instead of going to one big box retailer, you have to stop at 4 or 5, but you get that customer service. The pricing is about the same. They have to compete with the big box stores. So, start buying locally. And a lot of people are panicked, and the panic is leading them to save. And I absolutely would tell everyone that they should be saving money at this time. However, if you have a job and it's reasonably secure, you shouldn't be saving 100% of your money. You shouldn't be cutting back your lifestyle to a point where you're just sitting at home staring at the television and doing nothing. If you do have that extra money and your job is relatively secure, it's time to go back out to the restaurant. Time to go back out to the movie theater. It's time to go shopping. I'm not saying go out and buy the most extravagant thing or go to the most extravagant dinner, But it's time that some of that money not all of that money needs to be saved. You need to enjoy your life. And that's part of the American way. And it's part of being a consumer and being part of our society. We've built a great number of stores and that are just wonderful. Great number of restaurants that are wonderful. And a lot of people are staying away because they're scared. Now, if you're on unemployment and things are really bad, I absolutely don't blame you for not going. But if your job is reasonably secure and you think you're going to be around for a while, of course save money. Of course invest some money in gold and silver. But at the same time, start thinking about going back out into the economy. And for those of you that are unemployed or maybe even who are employed, think about starting a business. This is the perfect time to do so. The government is giving grants. The state will hopefully start giving some grants to start small businesses.
And they've really loosened up the SBA program.
The SBA program has been hugely funded.
I'm looking at real estate, moving my real estate office, and I was surprised how easy it was compared to a couple years ago.
Exactly.
And so lots of opportunities for business loans out there. Get that startup going, that it's been in the back of your mind. You've been thinking about doing it. Oh, gosh, this is a time. Yes, it's a tough time, but there is some tools out there that are making it easier. And like those local banks, as Lee suggested, is they have some loans that they'll loan to you, partially because they're getting that government backing right now.
Yes, and then that's how banks make money. But banks don't make money by you having a checking account with them. Banks make money by making loans, and they want to make you a loan. So you come in there with the experience and the opportunity, and like you said, you have a college graduate as a secretary. If he walked in here with a really good business plan, he may have himself a business. And, there's a little place, the Water Cooler downtown. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's a little business incubator. And basically for a small fee, they give you an office and they give you all kinds of high-end business advice from the state. And they've had multiple companies start there real small and then graduate into big companies. Wow. So Idaho has a huge support network. And I would check out the Boise, Idaho website, the Boise, Idaho Commerce website, the Idaho website, and check out these opportunities. This is not the time for us to give up. In the same sense, we are not going to recover overnight. We are in this for a number of years. We could be looking at 3, 5, 10-year recovery. But during that time, we want to come out strong. And the way we come out strong is we return to manufacturing, we return to innovation and technology, and we get our people back to work. And once we get our people back to work, this economy will turn around again.
Yeah. Wow. So, folks, if you're out there, one thing I try to plead on the show a number of times is a lot of us have that idea, have that job, have that thing that they're thinking about doing that keeps them up at night. It's going to take some risk, for you to go out there and try, whether it's online business or if it's, a landscaping job or, whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, you've been thinking about it, go out and create your job. Even if it's just a part-time thing, be innovative and take some risks, calculated risks, but take some risks. There's some tools out there that help you. And there's a lot of, social networks now that people are out there just willing to give advice and help people out there just like you to get started, get going, because we all want to see, this area succeed.
Absolutely. And my email address is LEYERMAN @gmail.com. So if you want to get in touch with me, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
All right. Lee, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much,
awesome
Mike. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Lots of great contact. Again, we'll be on next weekend, the same time from 9 to 10 a.m. And this has been another show of the Recession Smackdown. See you next week. Hey, this is Mike Turner. I'm the broker of one of the top real estate firms in the Valley and host of the Saturday morning show, Recession Smackdown, on 670 KBOI. People often ask me who I recommend for getting a mortgage. I tell them go talk to my go-to mortgage guy, Daniel Fulmer. The reason is Daniel has really proven himself to me and to my clients for many years now. We just seem to have more success from referring Dan and his team at Affinity Mortgage than many other places. I think folks have such a good experience with working with Dan because he takes the time up front to truly understand their objectives, goals, and challenges. So when decisions need to be made, Dan knows just how to guide you through the mortgage process. We all know someone or have personally experienced a nightmare mortgage process when trying to close on a home or refinance. Don't let that person be you next time. Contact Daniel Fulmer at 208 888-465-6650. Or email him at dan@affinitymortgage.com. That's Dan at AFFINITY mortgage.com.